Da, 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 da. Oh wait, there I am. There I am. Okay. Sorry. Okay, OBS forgot my mic existed apparently. It's like, oh, there's a microphone here. Could have fooled me, bitch. I am so sorry for the delay. Like, okay, today has been like garbage day. Like, literally just trash of a day. Like, oh my god, no, not just because I'm late to the stream, because, you know, people suck at communicating, and I'm not the type of parent to just leave a baby who is awake alone, you know? There's always that, the main Twitter I've been using for the past, like, 5 or 6 years, someone's trying to hack it, and I can't get into it right now, so I had to go to the Twitter help desk and show them everything going on. So hopefully they locked whoever hacked it out of the account and nothing more gets fucked up, because they're already starting to fuck shit up. But the thing is, Zelda said, it's like, okay, we got your report, we'll do what we can, we'll get back to you within like 3 days. And I'm like, 3 days, really? 3 days? It takes you 3 days to see an obvious hacker spammer thing. Then to get rid of them and let me back in, really? 3 days? God damn. If you're wondering what that weird chat box was earlier, that's me testing Stream Elements, which apparently does not like me, and apparently it's all for the best, because I was seeing reports that it's like going under, so I was like, okay, who needs you? Who needs you? Who needs you, Stream Elements? Ah, dope, yeah. I'm so glad that even new people like Takara, because yeah, she's kind of like an OG thing, you know? Like, okay, so... Oh. Okay, so Takara was like one of my... Not my first characters, but she was the first to have like an ongoing plot that people were like actively following. So that was pretty cool that people were like following the plot. I'm like, I hit a point though where I'm like, where do I go? Like, you won the game, y'all. You got the girl. She's now your lover, not just your friend, not just your weird friend with benefits. She's now your girl. You're now married. Where do you go now? Do you want like the full the full modern day marriage experience? You want me to roleplay like bullshit fights over nothing? I can tell you right now, you're not having any babies. The car would be a shit mom. Like, for real, like, y'all have neckos, remember that. Y'all are taking care of cat people. You ain't got no room for babies. Oh god. Has anyone done a divorce ASMR roleplay yet? Or it's like, is your final, like, last bullshit fight, you had like 1,000 of them in the last 3 years, you're over it. It's like, this is clearly not working anymore. You spent too much time at the office, honey. And too much time with that lady at the front desk. What's her name? Brittany? Yeah. You're a little too friendly with her, so you know what? You know what? I think Jose, who cleans our pool, is better anyway. Like, yeah, you want that bullshit for roleplay? Oh, Charlotte is okay. Charlotte's interesting because there is a continuation of Charlotte in text form on Patreon. If you go back a bajillion years, my husband and I actually used to like co-write out like written stories for the characters and whatnot. Because he would add some of his own like male characters to kind of flesh out the universe more, and that used to be like one of the things that would be featured on the Patreon. I'll show you. I'll show you. No, Charlotte's doing okay. Like she's a boss babe now. Because keep in mind, Kasaka Mama's dead. She inherited the company. She's a busy bitch. Oh, of course. Of course, I haven't forgotten Paige. I haven't forgotten Paige. Any character who got a Dakimakura design in particular is one that I definitely have not forgotten. Vex is complicated because Vex is actually not my character. Vex belongs to a fan, and I'm gonna say former because I haven't seen or heard from this person in over a year. So, former moderator of my stuff, who also went by Vex. So I don't really know what to do with this character without their, original creator or owner being around. Bulkman dude! Okay, that's an excellent name. Also, you are the only person who has complimented my Honey Lemon RP. I swear, when I first put it up, people were like, "What is this?" Like, why have you done this, Kitty? Why is there Honey Lemon? It's like acting like Big Hero 6 wasn't like one of the best like movies ever. And, to me it is. I mean, the twist villain could have been like not dumb, but it's still solid. It's a solid little movie. I like it okay. Have I ever played Vampire Girls or Zombie Girls? Chat has been here a while. Have I played vampires? Okay. I'm going to hint if I play vampires. When you go through my videos, sort by most popular or oldest to newest, but you probably get more done if you do sort by most popular. And you'll find a vampire pretty quickly. And I have done at least one zombie character because I figured that'd be a way to do like a mukbang / vor ASMR tingle type thing without it being like too ridiculous. Nothing wrong to... Okay, wait, Eclipse, what are you asking? Like, do you want, like, fan art of drawing yourself with characters, or are you asking to draw me? It's either or is fine. Back when I was working with my former artist and character designer, Koichi, people commissioned her all the time to draw themselves and their own OCs with my characters. Like, Someone actually commissioned a very, very NSFW piece of themselves doing so a certain activity to not even my characters, my avatar persona. This purple pink cat bitch. Yeah. And Koichi couldn't help but send it to me because she's like, you know, I got good money for this commission. I know it's supposed to be private, but you're in it, so look at this. I kept it. I kept it. It did a folder on my phone. I kept it because sometimes I just need to laugh. I could use the world's biggest hug. It's like, okay, another part of the reason it took me so long to set up is I had to like pull myself together after like crying for 10 minutes. Cause like today's been one of those days where like nothing's been going right. And actually it started last night when I like completely over freaking slept and missed my Sunday night VIP Orky stream on Joystick completely. Like I woke up at like 2 in the morning. And it's just been like, yeah, no, like everything's just gonna get all fucky. Anyway, I'm glad you don't like this model, because of all my VTuber models that are 2D, this one's actually my most basic one. If you see Aki or Orky, let's just say they got a bit more physics to them, and quite a bit of the boing boing. Take care, Kyle. Don't be a stranger, man. No, do not be a stranger. I swear. Like, just because you're new, doesn't mean that like you're not cool. I like getting to know the new people. I appreciate new as much as the people who have been here since like 2018. I am still shocked, especially since I had a stroke last summer, that I still remember some of the handles of people who frequented stream chats and video comments since 2018. Oh, thank you, Kyle. Dude, y'all can literally make whatever you want. Like, so long as it's not, like, hate. As long as you're not, like, getting art commissioned of you, like, murdering me or my characters, or, like, making, like, a diss track, especially a diss track where you speak ill of, like, my children. Like, free game, free game. Like, you can do fan art, even NSFW. Trust me, NSFW is totally fine by me. Music, whatever. It's true. This one being more controlled, I imagine is a less distracting, not having the boobas bouncing beach balls in your face. Because, but as much as I love the Aki model, Red Cat, the rigger I used for that model, who's actually rigged a lot of my models, except for this one, he knows that I tend to cater to a certain type of audience. So we always make sure that the chest area gets a good amount of physics whenever I move. Yeah. Okay, this model I commissioned of a random artist on Etsy just to see like if they're legit, because I was hearing mixed things about Etsy VTuber artists, and this was an artist that did both the art and the rig. Like they offered like as a combo package for a price that was like worth, you know, like, let's see if this works. And sure enough, they delivered a model and it was functional, and I'm like, hot damn. There's a reason I changed my channel name to Kitti Minx ASMR, because it used to just be Kitti Minx. It's not that I'm trying to separate myself from my history in exclusively the adult industry. It's just that now when you look me up, you're more likely to find my ASMR work and VTuber stuff and whatnot than my history in the adult industry. Like, you have to do digging now to find like old interviews I used to do with publications and all the advice columns I used to do for magazines and shit. I mean, like, it's almost like come November, it'll be 10 years since I was interviewed by Rolling Stone magazine, okay? I don't know. Oh, I didn't lose Doji Channel. This is Doji Channel. I just, like, adopted the name because, like, I didn't want... I wanted to, like, basically establish this saying, like, you're gonna find ASMR here. You're not gonna find, you know, sneaky previews of adult content on here. Because I know a lot of, like, OF thoughts now use YouTube, and especially TikTok, as ways to post, like, thirst traps and then try to, like, stealthily redirect people to their actual content on the spicy pages, and make sure people get the idea that that's not what I do on YouTube at all. That's not my game. This is a whole completely different content. I figured, why do I have the little ASMR in my name? Yes, Rolling Stone, that was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. At the time, I was working for the Bunny Ranch in Nevada, and was, let's just say, rather popular, but also rather outspoken about the political climate at the time. And Rolling Stone was doing a feature about sex workers and how they plan to combat the growing hostility in the political climate. Because I hate to say it, the industry that first notices any shift, be it like the economy or, you know, political shifts or anything, it's the adult industry. It is the strip clubs, it's the brothels in Nevada, and the, you know, the places that are not legal but, you know, do that kind of stuff. And even online adult work will start to feel it. I know back in the day, the old subscription sites where you'd pay subscription and access, you know, a lot of people because it was a studio, not independent creators. Like, they started seeing hits whenever things would shift. All the new ones that Kitti Minx in the name got axed. One of them, the last one I tried with Kitti Minx in the name, got axed within a week. That was in like March of 2024. That's when I knew I had to like give up for a while. I literally do not know how the channel came back. I do not know. I got no prior warning, like no emails from YouTube, no one reached out to me, no one asked me anything. Just, I woke up one day, turned on my TV, turned on my YouTube app, went to, you know, my personal account, the one I use to watch stuff instead of create stuff, but then saw that this account was logged in when I couldn't log into it for 2 years because it was, you know, terminated. And I was like, wait a second. And sure enough, I checked my phone. Several of, like, my like longtime subs were like pinging me on Discord and everything when I go like, Kitty, you don't believe this! The channel's back, look! I'm like, oh shit. Well, too bad it's October and I'm going through a phase right now where I don't want to do anything but rot, so. October was a rough month for this bitch. It was October 2025. That's when I like noticed that the channel was back. But yeah, like October 25 was a horrible month for me. Like I got a sinus infection that I swear came from hell because it had me in such pain. I thought I was having a never-ending migraine. I had to go to the ER, and they did a CT scan. Sure enough, saw the sinus infection. But then they asked if I wanted an MRI because they saw something else. They wanted to make sure it wasn't, you know, just a little glitch from the CT. So I was like, oh, okay. So I got an MRI, and no, it wasn't a glitch from the CT. There were weird spots on my brain that the ER doctor could not say what they were because obviously that's not their specialty. They're not a neurologist. And because I am on specific insurance, that got worse in the last couple of years, or less actually. Oh yeah, it got worse pretty recently. And it's been hard to find specialists that take it, and then when I do, there's a waiting period of like a bajillion years. So I'm still waiting for an official neurology appointment to open up for me that takes my insurance, so I can get properly checked. But as far as I know, there are spots on my brain, particularly in the section that correlate to short-term memory. And the theory is it might have to do with the mini stroke I had in July of last year. I didn't have a full-blown stroke. I had what they call a TIA, basically a small stroke that was also caught early enough that it didn't become a full-blown one. I'm not as bad as Dory, though. For a while, until I started getting some treatments, I was kind of like Dory, and that the worst was making bottles for little guy, my 1-year-old. I would make a bottle and then give it to him, and then I'd be like, "Does little guy need a bottle?" And sometimes I'd make a second one and go to give it to him, see he already has one, and be like, "Wait, what?" If I can pull off a voice like Ellen DeGeneres, I promise I will do a Dory audio. Like, I've been wanting to do an Yzma audio for Emperor's New Groove, but I cannot get my voice anywhere close to that actress's to Eartha Kitt. I can't get anywhere close to Eartha Kitt. It'd be doing her a disservice. Yeah, basically, so what you're walking in on is, so the years I've been off, like, this part of YouTube, life hasn't been fantastic. I did reproduce once more. I now have 4 kids, not just 3. But, yeah, I've been having a lot of health issues. That's been the big thing, is health issues. And for a good long while was getting harassed by a young, pathetic person who doesn't understand the concept of you can't always get what you want, wah, fuck off. Basically, the person who did not understand the concept of boundaries and things sometimes have to end and you have to fuck off. It wasn't until I actually had to hire an attorney to start, like, sending her shit that she was like, she backed off. Thank you, thank you. Yes, the older three kids, those who don't know, are all girls, and so the fourth and our last, I swear our last, is our little guy. He's our little guy. But if y'all want to feel old, especially those who have been here a while, my oldest just turned 12 in February. And then Little Fox, the first kid born after me starting this channel and actively making content, is turning 6 next month. And Evie, who was the first pregnancy that people following my content were actually made aware of, that I didn't go on hiatus for, is 3 now. Oh my god, okay, so, okay. We wanted to be done with Fox, but Evie is like a miracle child in that I had an IUD after having Little Fox, but at some point, since having Fox and finding out I was pregnant with Evie, the IUD just disappeared. It literally disappeared. My doctor could not explain it. He did a scan of like my whole abdomen trying to find the damn thing. So either it got expelled somehow and I didn't feel it, or it punctured somewhere in my innards and it's just floating around my body, just hanging out. But yeah, because it, went out of place at some point, that's how Evie happened. Miracle conception. And then a little bit happened because my husband has been dragging his feet on getting snipped, and isn't fond of using certain, male usable methods. So I was on, a pill for the time being, because that was like all I could take. I was afraid to get another IUD. And because of other medication I had to take, it was rendered at most 80% instead of like, the usual like 99.99999 or whatever. So little bit happened because that 20% chance of failure happened. But now I have the next clip-on implant because our insurance finally, like after a lot of struggling and a lot of me just yelling at people on the phone, agreed to cover it. And so like, I'm now bionic. I have this little chip implant in my arm under the skin that stops babies from happening. And so ultimately it'd be nice if like my husband would just like stop being a big baby and get snipped, so I can stop doing things to my body that mess up my hormones and worsen the things I take a million pills for. Because we're definitely not having more babies, because basically when little guy was born premature like Evie was, but the difference was Evie was born about 6 weeks early because she of her own volition decided she wanted out. My water broke early, she wanted out. Little guy didn't exactly decide he wanted to come early, but he gave me a condition called preeclampsia, which can become fatal pretty quickly if not treated, and the only way to treat it is to deliver the baby. So they induced labor with him, and it hit a point where it was so many hours. I was in agony. My blood pressure kept spiking, and then they would give me medicine to lower it, and then it would tank, spike, tank, spike, tank. And it got to a point where it was so chaotic that the monitors picked up little guy. He was in fetal distress. And when a baby enters fetal distress, there really is no other option than emergency C-section. The next thing I know, I'm getting knockout juice in my IV. And I wake up to my whole abdomen wrapped up. And I hear from a nurse that the baby was taken to the NICU. And my husband, just pacing around the delivery room, what the fuck? So I basically got told, because the having babies born that premature in those means isn't great, and I'm now over 35. I turned 36 actually in less than 10 days. And so the likelihood of another pregnancy being near fatal, pretty high. So we're literally doing the best we can to not make more babies without having a graveyard for a bedroom. Oh, you guys, yeah, I couldn't be awake for little guy because of I think it was the blood pressure was the reason. They wanted to make sure I was completely stable, so they didn't spinal block me. I can say, C-sections are not great. They're not great. But the scarring, at least mine, is not as bad as people used to complain about. I remember, oh my god, I remember in college reading magazines and online forums and articles and all these, shallow people saying, nothing's uglier than a single mom with a C-section scar. And I'm so when I found out I had a C-section, I was kind of scared. I'm oh no, am I gonna look like a freaking Frankenstein? But after I recovered, I even had dissolvable stitches. They didn't have to take the stitches out. The stitches just vanished. I only really know the scar is there if I'm really looking for it. And I can tell it apart from other stretch marks from having 3 pregnancies in less than 5 years. Well, see, I've grown up with scars because I have I don't even know if you can even see it in pictures unless you really look for it. On my left hand, on my pinky, I have a scar that I've had since I was 3 years old when I got my hands caught in the door when I was doing something with my dad. and I had to get stitches. So pretty much my whole life I've had at least one scar. And my left ankle has a whole bunch of scars on it because when I was in high school, I had a bit of a chaotic accident where I shattered it to the point where, like, it's a bone were poking through the skin, and they get surgically fixed and put a lot of, like, pins and metal in there. And I had to have multiple surgeries until it was deemed good to go. And, yeah. And weird enough, I've also had surgery on my face, but there really is no visible scar, which is kind of fun. Maybe because of what they fixed, but, like, yeah. When I was in college, I got my nose smashed in by a metal door. I'll start saying prayers for me that I am done being sick. This is my kids' last week of school. So, the soon-to-be 6-year-old and the 12-year-old are no longer going to the giant germ factories that are their schools for a few months. The only one I have to worry about is Evie, because she's going to stay in her nursery school for their summer program because she likes to be with her friends. We want to keep her consistency and, you know, her routine. So she could still be a little germ factory petri dish, but one kid being a petri dish is not as bad as 3 of them. It's like, my biggest hurdle lately has just been fatigue. Like, you know your fatigue is bad when you've had ADHD medication that is of a higher dose and a stimulant, and you take 2 of them. I take Adderall and Vyvanse, because that is how broken my brain is. The antidepressant that's part of my regimen has like some, like, you know, upper properties to it. Like, Wellbutrin is supposed to be one of the few antidepressants that doesn't put you to sleep. And then, like, on top of that, caffeine. Because I'm loading up waters with Drink Gamer Girl, and I know this sounds biased because they do my drink merch, but I can legit say, as someone who's tried a fuck ton of these different drink mix companies to support other creators I like, the ones from them, from Drink Gamer Girl, actually taste better in my opinion, and don't have weird aftertaste, and very rarely do you get those weird little clumpy bits of powder in the water. And it's not required you have a fancy-ass shaker cup to use the powder either, so it blends right. You can literally just, like, put it in a regular-ass water bottle, stir, 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 shake, 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 and it's good to go. And it's been a great way for me to do caffeine, because since my pregnancy with little guy, I do not like the taste of coffee anymore. I have no idea why. I used to not mind coffee. I used to get coffee from, like, Starbucks and whatnot pretty often. I used to, like, heck, I have a Keurig I haven't touched in, like, a year, except when my parents are visiting, because I don't like coffee anymore. So, when I need caffeine, I'm like, hell yeah, powder time. Gotta get my fix in the powder. And I'm so glad that there is a slight tinge of color to the drink mix powders, or else it would look very sus with the tiny little, like, scoopers that come in it, and you sprinkle any and it makes a mess. It would look very sus. It wasn't, like, slightly colored, you know? Oh god, G Fuel was one of the first drink mixes I tried. I legit hated the fuck out of it. And I got the flavor that sounded like the most potentially appealing to me. Like a very simple flavor that I've had as other things. And I'm like, oh god, this is ass. This is total ass. This is beyond ass. Oh god. Ugh. Even like the gayest gay friend I had in college wouldn't go near this. Ugh, it's too ass. There is such a thing as too ass, and that is what that drink mix is. I'm well aware my Twitter got hacked. I'm so fucking aware. I already went through the help desk. I sent an email. They said that they would look into it and get back to me within 3 fucking days. Because apparently it takes them that long to see, oh, you got hacked. We should do something about it. Freaking Elon. Okay, I think at this point, you can blame Elon for all the problems, because he also said he'd get rid of all the bots, and I don't know about y'all's X experiences, but my DM requests on Twitter, or X, or whatever the fuck it is, bot city, day by day. Just bots. Bots everywhere. Bots talking to bots. Bots on top of bots. It's kind of scary. It's kind of dystopian. Oh god, dead internet theory is absolutely true on X, and people have proved it. People have proved that there are whole ass like threads of conversations that are just all bots. My friend, Ultra, you have just uttered the name of the Elder God. Be careful there, you might summon the husband. Like, I am not kidding. Like, nearly every Sunday for, like, the past, like, 2 or 3 years, he and his buddies get on Helldivers and play from, like, when the kids go to bed to, like, 3 in the morning. Yeah, think about that. That's even though it was just 1 night a week, that's still a lot of freaking Helldivers, because they're pretty consistent about it. And Husband Duke gets kind of pissy if he can't get enough of his Helldivers time. Like, it's like trying to take like a bottle of chocolate milk from a toddler. Like, it's like, no, my precious. I need to save Super Earth, damn it. Fun fact, I do sometimes play Helldivers on my Twitch stream, but because shooty games and me don't get along, because my anxiety is so bad, it literally interferes with everything, and I'm a horrible teammate. You literally have to carry me, or I will ruin it for everybody. I will have, before we play, I eat a very special kind of gummy to kind of like mellow me out enough so I can play and not give a shit that I'm playing. Because it's easier to not have anxiety when you don't give a shit. And then it becomes extra funny because I give so little of a shit. I'm doing everything a little too wrong. I take care of Barry. Oh, consistently. You absolutely, sorry. Consistency and me when it comes to games I stream are like polar, like opposites of the spectrum. I think the games with the most playtime have been the Class of 09 series, just because I got addicted to the humor because it was so true. I was graduating high school, starting college when that game takes place, so it was extra funny to me. And I played a lot of Sims because you can do a lot of fuckery in The Sims. And then I was doing the Sakura Succubus visual novel series. I think I got to like the 5th or 6th one before something happened and I just kind of gave up. Okay, so here's a bit of funny for you, Ultra. According to the military, my husband is 5'9", but according to the DMV with his driver's license, he's 5'11". Husband, what is your body about? Like, can you just randomly grow and shrink? I know one part of you that does that, but like, is all of you? I seriously think it's probably because in the military they are like in like skivvies when they get measured, and the DMV doesn't give enough of a shit to do that. So he was probably wearing his usual like clunky ass workroom boots that add at least an inch. So that's probably the real reason, but still, it's funny. I feel that. I feel that. Like, that's... Oh god. What would that mean for my husband? Because he's working night shift job right now. He's been working night shift for like 3 years. So, like, he's waking up now at like 7 p.m. and going to bed at like 9, 10 a.m. So, is his growth backwards? I'm sorry to laugh, but like the fact that of all the games you could bring up, it's freaking Helldivers. Where it's just been like, I feel like it's been a curse afflicted upon this house for years. Also, my husband's got into Warhammer, but not like the kind of Warhammer where you do the cool thing where you paint the little figgies and you like play the game. No, no, no. He gets like these audiobooks. I don't even know if they're legit audiobooks or ones that people with just no lore like make with AI, but he does that. And he finds like musicians on YouTube that make music about Warhammer and gets obsessed with that. But that's enough for him. That's enough where he has like a fuck ton of Warhammer t-shirts and at least 3 hoodies. Like, bro, like my brother's cool though. My brother does the full experience. He paints some figures. He makes figures. And my brother's good at it. He's a good painter. Okay, I don't know if any of you remember a show called iCarly. It came around during a very specific time period, but there's this one episode that is infamous. It's about the characters going to a convention because they're guests there or whatever. It has Jack Black in it. But there's a scene before they go to the convention where the boy part of the kid group, Freddie, and the big brother, Spencer, are talking about a World of Warcraft parody, and Harley and Sam are just kind of like listening to them and kind of asking questions, but they're just going really into the lore, and they're just looking more and more simultaneously bored and confused. So by the time Freddie and Spencer are done and like snap to look at the girls to see their input, Harley just goes, "I'm having diet soda." That is me. That is me with Warhammer chatter. That is literally me, right there. I'm having a diet soda. Like, that's probably one of the most relatable things I've seen in a kids' TV show my whole life. And I was like 20 when that show came out and I saw that episode. I forget what the diet soda moment was for me back then. It was some sci-fi show a bunch of my friends were getting into and getting really obsessed with. And I was still trying to catch up on, like, Doctor Who, because, you know, Doctor Who just became a new Doctor Who. He became Matt Smith Doctor Who. And I wanted to know what this changing of the Doctor Who's was all about. And apparently there were now 11 of them. So I had to go back to the first one. And apparently a bunch of the episodes are missing. And they're all in black and white. So I had a lot of stuff to catch up on. I play games sometimes on my Twitch YouTuber stuff. A lot of times I say I'll play a game, but then I get into such a gap session with chat that like an hour or two will go by, and I'm like, oh shit, it's midnight. I gotta go to bed because I have to be up at 6 in the morning to get kids to school. Gotta love it. Y'all would probably like cry or like just like yell at me if you saw my Steam library. All the games that are like either unplayed or played for maybe a few hours. I do also play games on joystick. Obviously, those are like very, 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 very adult games. I find hentai games very fun in particular. The ones that are more than just like click to come. Like actually you have to do stuff. But yeah, I find them fun. Okay, so there's like this hentai visual novel called Swimmer's Admiration, and my husband was very excited for it because he thought hopefully it would cater to his kink, which involves being in the water. As far as we're aware from our first couple playthroughs, trying to go through it on his computer, it is not that. It's very R-wordy actually. There's a guy, the guy character, like the main character is a girl, but you're pursued by this guy character, and pretty much every guy character who pursues this girl is very R-wordy, and I'm like, what does that have to do with swimming? Like, for real, like, there's one ending where, like, the main girl and her friend get, like, you know, taken out to, like, the middle of the woods and by the main R-wordy guy, and they get group R-worded by a bunch of strange dudes. And I'm like, again, what does this have to do with swimming? The game's called Swimmer Admiration, not like, oh, let's see how many times these female characters can get R-worded in different scenarios. Oh, no, see, she and her friend are on a swim team, and one of the other potential, bedroom interests is the coach of the swim team. But when you try to get with him, he's also kind of R-wordy. Like, there's not a pleasant man in the entire game. I don't know who this game was made for. It was not obviously not made for me, because I'm like, this is too much R-word for me, and I can, despite the fact I'm a survivor myself, I'm pretty tolerant of R-word stuff. But like, oh my god. And it's obviously not for my husband, because despite being called Swimmer's Admiration, and none of the fun stuff's happening in the water. I firmly believe that, like, every story has a right to be told, and art is completely subjective. But there are times where I come across a piece of media, a piece of artistic expression, if you will, and I'm just like, why? But then again, I'm sure plenty of people have said that about some of my audios, that they've stumbled across it and either don't know what ASMR is, or ASMR roleplay, or just the kind of stuff I do, or my sense of humor, and they're like, why? I think the one that got the most why was the April Fool's from 2023, which was chicken permission. Which obviously you have to have a very specific sense of humor and go to a very specific part of YouTube to understand that joke. But at the time I made it, that had been living in my head rent-free for almost a decade. I needed to free it into the ether in the form of ASMR. I was legit surprised that there were a couple of comments on the video where people got the joke. It's like, oh my god, there's some cultured people who are like on the old version of YouTube, specifically like horror YouTube. Horror / making fun of dumb people on the internet YouTube. That used to be my thing back in the day. I used to like watch content that I was just basically making fun of people, writing dumb Facebook posts, making dumb tweets, just stuff like that. Retellings of posts from a site called Text from Last Night, which I think went defunct. But it used to exist, and it was very funny. And the whole chicken permission came from the fact that this was a person talking about cooking, and they were trying to say chicken parmesan, but they spelled it chicken permission. How parmesan became permission just broke Rob Gavigan, the guy making the video, reading the post, and it became this little meme, and it that meme had been in my head rent free for the better part of 10 years. Ooh, I'm sorry to hear that. Ooh. Ooh, okay. If you want to know how old I am and how unsupervised my internet access was in high school, I remember when Chris Chan as a person was discovered by the internet. Before Kiwi Farms. Like, I remember when Encyclopedia Dramatica launched. And, fun fact, there's a contribution to the Vic Mignogna page on Encyclopedia Dramatica that came from one of my parties at a convention in the mid-2000s. Good vibes. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can hold out for another like 30 minutes or so, because it's getting to be close to Dinjin time. Because Dinjin time happens when the Eevee is picked up from nursery school. And I am in the Central Time Zone, so it is just after 5 p.m. for me. So, and the place closes at 6, so we try to get her not when they close, but, you know, long enough so she has a full day there playing with her friends. Yep, some weird freak hacked my dang Twitter and help desk. It's bullshit. They said it'll take like 3 days to help me. How? How does it take 3 days to knock that fucker out of my Twitter and get it back? Dude, I remember the early days of Chris Chan when people were just making fun of the Sonichu comics. And there was just, you know, coverage of just the universe of the comics. Like, I remember his college year saga when he was patrolling campus looking for a boyfriend-free girl. Like, okay, Chris Chan was a meme when I was in college, and I started college in 2008. But then again, I went to an art-focused university, so I was a film major, and I minored in animation, so my friend group was all like that crowd. So we're also, most of us were pretty internet savvy and aware of the memery. So, like, many a joke among the ladies was like, careful, Chris Chan might come looking for a boyfriend-free girl. I was like, well, we better find ourselves some boyfriends. And I'm like, why find boyfriends when we can just find girlfriends? But yeah, fun fact, back in college, I was more on the lesbian spectrum of bisexuality. You're all good, my friend. Oh my god, okay, so I remember when we were working on a film project, and a scene that happened in one of my friend's films is this guy, like, just mad dashing out of one of the dorm buildings, hauling a big ass TV. Everybody thought he was doing it for a scene for someone's project or something. A photography project, a film project. No! He didn't even go to our school. He legit just stole someone's TV. We're like, what the fuck just happened? I'm glad to be back. I'm hoping to get audios up soon. I feel like posting schedules for audio uploads is kind of pointless because I'm still not quite back to how I was health-wise, like, prior to the channel getting nuked. But I'm hoping if I make the schedules, the ambition behind it will kill whatever illness is knocking me on my ass. Oh yeah, I set a fire in my office the other day, and like all the smoke detectors upstairs went off, and it was like 10 o'clock at night, so it woke up all the kids, and everybody was having a panic attack. But I put it out in like a minute, because I have a crap ton of water sitting around my desk, and I just literally went splash. And it's the dumbest thing too. I lit a couple incense sticks in my incense burner, and somehow it like fell in a way that it caught on the edge of some papers, and the papers just went whoosh. It was so stupid. It really was. Like, in the time between the smoke detectors going off and my husband running to where my office is, which is, like, on the opposite end of the house of where he was, I had already put out the fire. So the real fire to put out then was getting all 4 kids to settle and go back to bed. And believe it or not, the most dramatic one was the 12-year-old. Who should, like, obviously has, like, enough common sense to see there's no fire anymore, it's taken care of. But she was like, no, smoke detectors, we're all gonna die, we're all gonna die. It's gotten to a point where, like, she overreacts so much that I have let her sleep through storm sirens because I watch. I have a radio that that will let me know if there's actual bad shit coming near our neighborhood, and if it's telling me stuff is close enough to trigger the sirens, but not close enough it's actually going to touch us, I don't bother waking the kids or anything. So if they don't hear the siren and they're sleeping, good for them. Because the one time that there was a siren, I panicked and I got everybody up. It was chaos. It was pure chaos. And it was mostly the 12-year-old feeling it. Fun fact, few times I had to be near the military base my husband works at. Sometimes they do tests of their sirens, and they have different sirens than just storm sirens. They have some of the really scary sirens. Like, they're testing one, and I'm like, where's the desk? I need to duck and cover. That's what they told me back in school in that weird video that was in black and white. Where's the cover? Where's the desk? That was so stupid. Like, why? Why? I mean, I get it. It's really to protect kids from, like, debris from hitting them. But if, like, you're getting nuked, you're getting nuked. You're vaporized. Goodbye. Yay, Iron Giant! Yes, Brad Bird. We had a saying back in film school that bird is the word. And that was always in reference to the legendary Brad Bird. Because that man could not make a bad movie. Like, he was just that impressive and skilled. And we all aspire to be as good as Brad Bird. Like, for us, Brad Bird is up there with, like, Kubrick and Spielberg. You know, like really just, and like freaking like Hitchcock even. Like, come on. I remember for film class, they screened Clockwork Orange because it is an iconic Kubrick film. Of course, I'd already seen it like a bajillion times because it is a movie I've always enjoyed because I read the book in high school. I was one of the few people not super confused by the book in high school because for some reason my weird brain could interpret the weird ways the character spoke that no one else seemed to be able to. But I remember, like, we sat through the movie, and of course most of the other students, like, admired the artistry of Kubrick, but just did not like the movie, but they admired the artistry. And here I am, just, you know, like, clapping like a seal, I'm a little seal going, ah, Clockwork Orange, yeah! And literally, my one friend who was also my roommate, and then my other friend, her look at me and they're going, you like this? You legit like this? What is wrong with you? And that is the day I learned I like bondage. Oh, not really. I learned that, like, probably before high school even, but no, not high school, college. No. Words are hard. Words are hard. Words are even harder after you have a stroke. Did you know that? I recognize you. I feel like I know who you are by how you speak, but the username is different, which fucks with me because I've always been a person not always great with names. I'm gonna throw this out there. Are you Alexi? Yes! Oh, my memory's not as fucked anymore. Because, yeah, if you had asked me this within, like, 3 months after a stroke, I would have not remembered anything. I just would be happy people were talking to me. proofs to all the new people. I remember frequent chatters and frequent commenters. Oh my god. So also today, Reddit broke for the time being, and there was a rumor that it was Iran hacking old Reddit, so it messed up their system. And I was in the middle of literally hitting post when Reddit blew up. And apparently it must have gotten fixed at some point, because I just got alerts that the post went through. But apparently the post went through like half a dozen times. Okay, Reddit, okay. Thanks, Iran. Appreciate it. I gotta say, okay, are any of y'all aware of the AI Lego rap diss track videos coming from Iran that are literally just diss tracks against, like, Trump and Hegseth? And I think Netanyahu too. They're actually really... Some of them are actual fire. Some of them are actual fire. I don't know how to explain it. I know AI is trash, but, like... For this... In the context of, like, dissing... Iran is doing better than America and Israel. Iran is, like, S-tier diss. Compared to everybody else. Like, they know what they're doing. Moda. I like I'm big. I like I'm chunky. No, I brought to say the other day on Twitch stream, I did play My Voice Zoo, and when I got to the hippo, that's exactly what it said. I like 'em big. I like 'em chunky. I have mixed feelings about AI because, okay, so, like, I went to an art school, and they developed their own AI program for students, faculty, and alumni to use if they want to use. And basically, you earn your right to use it if you contribute to it. So, like, I had some old stuff from my old portfolio that genuinely has like no value, like nothing of value was lost, but it counted. So I get to use it, and it's kind of nice because it. One nice thing about it is it's meant to help streamline the character design process for films. Because the old school way was you just had to do a bajillion drawings and hope one of the supervisors liked one of them, and that would be the design. And sometimes it would take months to come up with something that a supervisor liked enough to try to finalize. That's part of why some movies would take freaking forever to get made. But now, especially with streaming services, there is such a demand for even animated films to be made, like, hella fast. There just isn't time to spend, like, you know, half a year deciding the look of one character. Um, I would not remember the song because I would originally be able to find it by like looking it up on my computer, my song library. The problem is, pretty much all the old Nika videos were made on a computer that exploded. So those files don't exist anymore. Oh, hey, Emma! How have you been, my dear? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. If it's any consolation, I'm having a very frustrating day, too. My sweater got hacked by some dude in New Jersey. And, Reddit itself got hacked as I was making a post. So, sometime today, I have to go clean up my Reddit feed, because apparently, when it got fixed, my single post became like half a dozen. Oh, I have some good news. I'm sorry, so, those of you who've seen the community tab, you know, my cat Knight passed away back in April. But he had a good look, he had a full life. He was 17. Like, that's pretty old for a cat. Especially a street cat like he was. But, we still got our other cat, Bunga. That's my eldest daughter's cat. But just a few weeks ago, we adopted a doggo. So, we have a doggo. Her name is Sadie. She's a German Shepherd mix. And she's adorable. She's 6.5 years old, and she's a shelter pup, and she is just the sweetest. She's hella smart too. She's sweet, she's smart, she's patient with the kids. She knows she picked up on routines pretty quick. Like within like 2 days of setting up her bed in her crate, she learned that is where she goes to sleep. That's faster than any other dog I've had to learn that that's what crate does. But yeah, you don't have to worry about me pulling a Hastanabe to get my dog to go to place. My dog knows to go to place. She likes her place. And I don't need her to be in her place to get people to watch my streams. She can wander if she wants to. Like, she has free roam of the house. She just chooses to be near the little guy because he is a little guy, and he has smells, and she's a dog. How do I handle negative thoughts in my mind? Okay, so I've gotten so used to intrusive thoughts that I literally, sometimes I even say out loud, I'm like, "Begone, foul demons!" And then I have to listen to, like, one of my favorite meme songs. That usually does a really good job of, like, cleansing my brain. Like, right now, from OCT, half horse, half man, has been living in my brain meats rent-free for a year, and I'm not ashamed to say it. It's an amazing song. It's a work of art. It belongs to the National Archive. It should be more popular than it is. And, yeah. I declare it a masterpiece. Okay, I have to give a 5-minute warning, unfortunately, because it is about to be dinner time, and I just got the text that my mom just went out to pick up Evie. Oh, yeah, by the way, my mom is visiting through the summer to help out, because husbando is on short-term disability, because he had knee surgery. So he's not supposed to be doing too much. Like, he can't go to work. And yeah. And my in-laws, my father-in-law is recovering from a hip replacement. So he already has Parkinson's. My mother-in-law has to take care of him, so she can't help out like she normally does. So my mom is going to be here probably until like August. But I probably will not bring my mom on any streams because she is of the personality that the only thing she can talk about for more than a minute is herself. That may not sound bad, but imagine that for like an hour. Like, imagine you're here to watch me, and I'm just sitting here for like an hour going, because she's talking, and talking, talking, and talking, talking. Yeah, no. That would not be pleasant. I love her dearly. She's my mother. She love her dearly, but she's not a good stream guest potential. Plus, the likelihood of her like doxing me and my husband would be pretty high. Because again, she talks about herself, and she doesn't always think before like thoughts come out. So she might accidentally like try to refer to me and use my government name, and I'll be like, God damn it, no! I've done so much hard work my entire life to make sure that even Googling my government name doesn't even bring up an accurate picture. Like, my government name doesn't exist on the internet, damn it. I am a beautiful combination of my mother and father. So, my mom is a yapper. My mom is an epic yapper. My father is the opposite of that. He is one of the quietest people in all of existence. I remember we used to have phone calls. My parents got divorced when I was a baby. And when we had to move too far for the regular visits, we had phone calls instead as part of the deal. And most of the calls would just be me telling my dad, what I did that week at school or what my friends were doing. And he would, just very kindly acknowledge what I was saying, briefly let me know what was going on with the family where he lived, and he'd be like, okay, I love you, sweetheart, talk to you next week, bye. This amazing man is finally retired at 71 years old, and his idea of a good time retirement is taking evening classes at Princeton University to learn modern day physics and modern day mathematics, because that's what he majored in Harvard back in the day, and it's been like decades, and he wants to know the new stuff. That's his idea of fun in retirement. And here's a funny fact. My dad is gonna also be here in a week. My mother and my father have not been in the same room in, 20 years? Because my dad wasn't able to come to my wedding because, my husband kind of rushed us getting married. We got married literally in a courthouse, spur of the moment. So my dad wasn't even there. It was just my mom and my pops, who's my stepdad. But yeah, one of my younger half-sisters is doing a college program at a university in one of the nearby cities. So he's coming down with her to help her get settled in for her program and staying a little bit extra to visit with, the grandkids and whatnot. But like I said, my mom is also here. I brought this up to my mother, and she's like, look, honey, we've been divorced 35 years. if there are still issues, I don't know any. I'm like, oh really? She's like, yeah, no. In the later years, it wasn't really us not getting along. It was our mothers. So really, now that like both your grandmothers are dead, you have nothing to worry about. I'm like, don't make Grandma and Bobby being dead seem like a good thing. What the heck? Like, I'm betting if my mom and dad happen to be in the same room when my dad comes to visit, both my grandmothers are going to be spinning so fast in their graves, they're going to reverse the Earth's orbit. I just got a text back that Evie is en route, so I gotta go prep some din din. But if you want to catch me, I will be on Twitch as Aki in roughly 5 hours. Maybe a little bit earlier, depending on how fast little guy settles for bed. And game plan today, I was doing a bit of yapping, and I was going to play some of my old ASMR videos now that the channel's back and kind of do some commentary on, like, you know, what I was thinking when I was making them, where I was in life, yada yada yada. So if that interests you, I will be on Twitch with my Aki Luda later tonight. Aw, you're sweet too, Emma. I will try to do more YouTube streams as time allows. With my husband being home for a lot of weeks on, you know, a medical leave, and my mom visiting just to help out, that does free up my daytime hours to do more stuff than before, when it's pretty much me soloing it with little guy while my husband would sleep because he worked the night, and that was how life was. Great. Catch you all later. Stay awesome. Mwah.